He's all right. I don't think he was bad. I don't think he was awful, terrible. He did his job, and you didn't have, because sometimes for the actors you ask too much from them, like to be menacing villain. I don't think Timothy Olyphant can do that. Hitman, I don't think Timothy, but I think Timothy Olyphant can do this type of character. I'm not saying he's great, awesome, spectacular, but he did an alright job. I didn't hate him. I thought he was fine. Radha Mitchell, same way. Deputy, I liked. I mean, what I'm getting at, the point is everybody did their jobs. Again, it's filmed well. It's when the attack sequences happen, they're well done. I really didn't get a chance. I really didn't get the shaky cam shit. See how dizzy you got? I just dropped my camera. But see, that's how it goes. Like, you just go all over the place. It really, either I'm getting used to it. Heaven forbid I get used to it, which could be the case, or I didn't mind it. I mean, there's a scene you probably see in the trailer. Yeah, there's one there in a car wash. There's one that takes place like they're trying to get this rig started, and Timothy Olyphant's dragged under, because there's like a platform where they want to work on the cars. So Timothy Olyphant's dragged underneath. Radha Mitchell's battling up top in the rig. And the music wasn't memorable in the fact that you're not going to hum tunes from it, or you're not going to download it, or you're not going to buy the CD. But it wasn't, what's the word? It's not annoying, it's not aggravating, it's not in the way. You know how sometimes music is in the way, it's distracting. That's the word I'm looking for. The score is not distracting, and it helps the film. It's not tons of gore, to be honest. It's not a gore fest. So, 20 days later, 20 weeks later, Dawn of the Dead, they're a lot gorier than this movie. It's rated R, don't get me wrong, but it's not that gory. And for some reason, I didn't mind it. I didn't mind it really enough. There's a neat scene where the sheriff is sort of in his doctor's office, somewhere like that, and someone comes out with one of those saws, and the cord's been wrapped around the guy, and Timothy Olyphant, the sheriff, pulls it, so it pulls it right to the guy's neck and cuts into him. That was a really cool sequence. I don't know, I just had fun. I thought it was a fun, entertaining, fast-paced movie, capably acted, capably directed. Did it have problems? Yeah. And this is where the spoiler warnings come in. Let me just make my bearings so I get all the points. It's like 3 or 4 points, so it's not a whole lot. Point number 1, it's not really clear how... It's clear how the infection started. That plane went down in this lake, which got into the water supply. And in fact, someone is codenamed Trixie, which is, I think, was going to be the name of the original Crazies, because it was codenamed Trixie. And it was a biological experiment, that type of thing. But it's never... There's talk that it may be airborne. You're not quite sure if it really is airborne. What I'm getting at is, there are 2 leads. You're never quite sure why they don't get sick. You know what I mean? And like the deputy, and spoilers, people probably figure it out, but the deputy does get sick, and he helps them out, puts the military on his ass so that they can make it out of there alive. But again, it's sort of like, well, how do you know, how is it that these 2 are not sick? Because they're the 2 leads. That's a cheap, shitty answer. But again, it's never really established how, why, when, where. Like, if it was like a bite or something like that, it would make sense. But it's not really established. I mean, it didn't bug me too much, but I'm guessing it could bug some people too much. Is why I bring it up. But it didn't bug me that much. But it's just something like, The other thing is, like I said, the military had separated people and brought people on buses away. But in the near the end, they're trying to make their way out of town. They stop by this gas station, and they find out that the people who had the bands on their wrists that were taken out, the military had burned them all. So I'm thinking, well, why the fuck did they separate them in the first place? You know what I mean? Like, if you were going to burn them all in the fucking first place, then why the fuck separate them? I mean, if you don't burn everybody anyway, why separate them in the first place? You know what I mean? Why didn't you just come in guns a-blazing? I mean, I guess, now that I think of it, I'm guessing it's because okay, the gears are working slowly in my brain. I'm guessing it's because to make people kind of trust them in a little bit, even though some of them decided to get the fuck out of Dodge. But I guess it was so if they just saw, you know, all these people burn and well, they would run and I don't know. I just feel like some people just went with them and they figure it would be easier to control them for a little bit, to get them all in one spot, take them somewhere and then burn them all, instead of just hunting them down as they're all scattering. It's sort of like they grab them and then everybody sort of comes in and then they sort of go in and. But I don't know. It's sort of like, well, why'd you burn them? I guess it's to, I don't know, tame them a little bit. I guess tame the residents a little bit with the idea that they're going to be helped. I don't know, something. I don't know. That was kind of like, well, damn, they just burn them all anyway. There's another one. The third thing, this little thing, is the military. It's involved, but you don't really get a lot of the crazy. Well, I shouldn't even say a lot of. You really don't get any. You don't get much of the crazies attacking the military and vice versa. I believe in the original, you had some instances where the crazies would attack the military and vice versa, and like little fights. And they don't really do that. You don't really have a lot of crazies versus military units. Which I thought, well, you could have done that a little bit. You could have involved some little, like, military going in, crazies coming in, they're having these little fights and stuff. Yeah, I thought you could have put some of that in there. That was kind of strange they didn't. And the fourth and final little one is the ending. And I don't want to give the ending away in case people don't want to see it, although I do highly recommend it, to be honest. But basically, as you can tell from the trailer, they're going to blow up the town, and they escape through the rig. They make it out. They walk into Cedar Rapids, which I actually know Cedar Rapids. It's actually, I wouldn't say it's close by, but it's, you know, probably within 50, 60 miles from here or whatever. Or 100 miles. I don't know my geography. Sad concern, I live here. I live near Iowa City. But the walking towards was going to be Cedar Rapids. And then basically it sort of pulls back and it says, you know, containment protocol, you know, start containment protocol. And I know, like, there were questions. It's ambiguous is what I'm getting at. It says, like, are they going to bomb the town or are they going to do this? Basically, here's my take on it. Basically, it's the notion of it's spread. This virus, Trixie, has spread to, you know, the town that they were in was like 1,000. Here, Cedar Rapids, like 100,000 people. So it spread into there, and basically the protocol is they don't do the same thing. The militaries don't go in, they don't catch people, they don't look for them, they don't separate them. It's the same thing. It's like it's going to repeat all over again. And then at the end, they're going to blow it up. So, you know, it's not saying that Timothy Olyphant and Radha Mitchell are dead. It doesn't show them dead. They could, if they made it out of that town, they can make it out of this one. Just in 5 seconds, oh shit, I'm getting out of here. But basically, it's saying that it's happening all over again, and that it hasn't been contained. It's spread.